Greetings. Thank you so much for watching me today on YouTube. Glad to have some time with you. We're continuing our series on hope. Love this series. I love this series because I believe that each of us, we go through peaks and valleys, right? Tips and troughs. Like, it's just kind of the nature of life. And there are times in our life when we just need some hope, right? Encouragement, kind of lift up our head and come up from all the stuff. And this series is to help you have some encouragement and some hope. We're looking at Bible characters, and today we'll look at Joseph. Man, I love Joseph. Joseph, you know, he's kind of born a little bit with a silver spoon because he's daddy's favorite, right? He's the 11th son, so he's the baby of the family, and his dad thinks he's awesome. His dad gives him all this preferential treatment and gets a special robe, and, you know, he just has all this, like, attention from his dad. And the older brothers, the 10 older brothers, you know, that doesn't really fly well. And then Joseph adds some fuel to the fire because he gets these dreams from God, and then he starts telling his brothers and his dad about these dreams, and the dreams basically say that his family is going to bow down to him. That's like salt in the wound, right? Like, ridiculous. And you know, you think about it, and both of us, we've made some pretty bad decisions and made some mistakes, some of them honest mistakes. And maybe Joseph's telling his family about these dreams. Maybe there was an honest mistake. I don't know what he was thinking. The Bible doesn't tell us. But those things that we do and make mistakes, and of course we learn from them and try to do better the next time. But for Joseph, these were very significant, critical mistakes, and setting him further on this path of alienation from his brothers. And his brothers became extremely hostile to him, almost to the point of wanting to kill him, basically. So he gets sold into slavery by his brothers. And this is where everything pretty much hits the fan for Joseph. Up to this point, you know, he's been the fair-haired kid, you know, daddy's favorite, and all kinds of favor and special privileges and all this stuff. And now he's the nobody. I mean, he's sold into slavery. He's in a chain gang on the way down to Egypt. He doesn't speak Egyptian. He doesn't speak, I mean, he's just pretty much out of his element, out of his comfort zone. And sometimes life hits those bumps, and it's not even just a bump. It's like you plunge, and it's like an abyss. You're like, where's a free fall? And I can't find my feet, you know. And I want to encourage you. Maybe you know that for yourself, or you know people who are in that free fall. Just want to encourage you that there's hope. There's hope even in the free fall. And when you watch Joseph, he gets sold into slavery, and Potiphar buys him. Potiphar's the lead, you know, jailkeeper, so to speak, for Pharaoh. And Joseph has favor in Potiphar's house. He becomes the chief over the whole house. And even though he's running and doing a good job and being a man of integrity and strong leadership, it's still, his legs get cut out from him because Potiphar's wife tries to seduce Joseph. Ridiculous. And Joseph's like, I can't sin against God. That's ridiculous. So she sets him up, and he takes he doesn't actually fall for her, but she lies about him, accuses him unjustly, and he gets thrown into prison. I mean, this just continues to seemingly go down and down and down. And he's stuck in prison, no access to legal recourse, no justice. He's just this kid sold into slavery, separated from his family. Now he's in prison. And then what's he going to do? And talk about discouraging. Talk about hopeless. I mean, what kind of future does he think he has at this point? In prison, he still gets elevated to leadership position. And Pharaoh's baker and cupbearer, they get thrown into prison, same prison with Joseph. And Joseph, you know, I would suspect that he felt pretty hopeless. But when these guys come on the scene, they have a dream, and Joseph interprets their dreams for them. And the dreams are completely right. One of them goes and has his head cut off, and the other one goes and is restored back to Pharaoh. And he tells the one restored to Pharaoh, he says, hey, don't forget me down here. Get me out of this prison. I didn't deserve it. So you get this sense that Joseph feels like the victim, and I would say rightfully so. Maybe you're watching and you feel like you're the victim and it feels hopeless. But I encourage you, keep holding on to God, because God has the change, the transformation, the renovation, the lifter of your head. God can and will help you. And that's what happens with Joseph. He has a turnaround day where everything changes in less than 24 hours. And he goes into this position where he becomes, in essence, the redeemer for all this. It rescues all of Egypt from famine. There's 7 years of plenty, and then 7 years of famine. But not only that, Joseph is in a position when his family starts to be concerned about their their food supply back up in Israel, back where Jacob is, his dad. Ultimately, his family moves down to Egypt, and Joseph is at prime position to redeem, rescue his family, and to save his family from being obliterated by this massive famine. So I just encourage you, we kind of go through dark times and seasons, but if we keep looking to God, we don't give up hope, God absolutely comes through and does exceedingly beyond all that we ask or think. I just encourage you, thanks for watching today, but give me a little bit of feedback. I'd love to have some comments. Subscription would be marvelous. Would love that, of course. And remember this, I'd love to finish with a joke, because these jokes are amazing. I know, you're like, so here's your joke. A photon went to check into a hotel. Photon, not futon as in the sofa, a photon like the beam of light thing. He goes to check into a hotel, and the clerk says to the photon, will you be needing some assistance with your luggage? And the photon replies, no thanks, I'm traveling light. I know, it's so awesome. Please be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for watching. And remember, this series of hope is to encourage you, and you can spread it around to your friends as well. Thanks again.